Today I will talk about the history of pre-Hispanic Mexico. To be able to understand a little of what Mexico has been throughout history and thus understand Mexicans, it is important to know a little of the history of this country. Mexico is actually many Mexicos, not only because of the dramatic social differences known to the world, but because of the ethnic background, the cultural traditions, and the ecological context that vary from one region to the other. In Mexico, there are around 29 ethnic groups belonging to 5 different linguistic families from the north to the south of the country. Mexico's first inhabitants were hunter-gatherers and fishermen. It was not until the year 5000 before Christ that they domesticated corn and beans. These indigenous groups have learned not to rely solely on their past, but in an attempt to join in the continuous change that is present in Mexico, have adapted to modern ways as they hold dear many of their most ancient traditions. Mexico had many cities throughout the region, each with a different government and language. Only a few became great cultures. Among them were the Olmecs, who flourished from the year 2500 BC to 200 after Christ, in the regions known as Veracruz and Tabasco. A typical hallmark of this culture is the big round heads that they left behind. Even though they are considered to be the mother culture of Mesoamerica, their origins remain unknown. The name Olmec was given to them by the archaeologists of the 20th century. Whatever their origin, the Olmecs contributed to the network of commercial exchange. The second great culture were the Teotihuacans. It was centered around Teotihuacan, called the City of Gods. This massive complex is located approximately 50 kilometers from modern-day Mexico City and encompassed a territory of 20 square kilometers with 100,000 inhabitants. This culture reached its peak between 200 after Christ to 750 after Christ. They are considered to be the greatest civilization of Mesoamerica. Their citadel has several complexes: the Pyramid of the Sun, the Pyramid of the Moon, the Avenue of the Dead, and the Temple of Quetzalcoatl, which in Nahuatl means the snake. This temple has 366 snake heads. The cultural influence of Teotihuacan reached as far as Cal in Guatemala and Monte Alban in Oaxaca. Their decline occurred in the 7th century due to political instability, internal rebellions, and climatic changes, all of which contributed to the collapse of Teotihuacan. The majority of the population dispersed into different parts of Mexico. It has been declared by the UNESCO as World Heritage Site in 1987. A third great culture were the Toltecs, who shifted the Teotihuacans and assimilated their culture. They dominated the northern plateau from the 10th to the 12th century. The name Toltec has the meaning of great culture and wisdom. In 1941, a group of anthropologists designated the city of Tula in the state of Hidalgo Estonayan, the mythical capital of the Toltecs, even though there has been a lot of controversy in this matter. Tula's landmark are the Atlantes, or 4 figures on the top of a flat pyramid. They also adopted Quetzalcoatl as their god. At the race of the Mexica or Aztec culture, they made alliances through marriages to legitimize themselves because they considered the Toltecs of great knowledge and culture. The Toltecs contributed with skills in the art of war, sculpture, and the tracing of commercial routes. It is considered that the Toltec culture did not disappear, that it merged into the Mexica culture. Loving Mexico thanks you for being with us today. Be sure to subscribe and leave a comment. Continue watching our videos and enjoy loving Mexico.